That very night, when darkness covered the village and everyone was fast asleep, the thief finally made his wicked move. He crept through the shadows like a silent ghost, making his way toward the old miser's garden without making any sound. The moon was hidden behind heavy clouds as the thief climbed over the low stone wall and entered the overgrown garden. His heart pounded with excitement as he walked straight to the exact spot where he had seen the miser bury his gold. With quick, greedy hands, he began to dig into the soft earth, throwing dirt aside until his fingers touched something hard. He pulled out the heavy gold bar and held it up in the faint moonlight, his eyes gleaming with pure, wicked satisfaction. Without wasting another moment, the thief tucked the treasure under his cloak and ran away into the darkness of the night. By morning, the thief was gone from the village forever, taking the miser's beloved gold bar far away with him to hide. The next morning, the old miser woke up early as usual, eager to visit his precious treasure buried in the secret corner. He walked happily toward the garden with a smile on his wrinkled face, humming softly as the birds sang their morning songs. But when he reached the familiar spot, his smile vanished instantly as he noticed the earth had been disturbed and dug up. With trembling hands and racing heart, the miser fell to his knees and frantically began digging through the loose, dark soil. He dug deeper and deeper in desperate panic, but his fingers found nothing except cold, empty dirt where gold once lay. The terrible truth struck him like a lightning bolt from the sky above. His beloved treasure was gone and stolen forever. The old miser let out a heartbroken wail that echoed through the quiet garden, tears streaming down his pale, wrinkled cheeks. He collapsed beside the empty hole, clutching handfuls of worthless dirt, sobbing uncontrollably over his terrible, devastating loss. The miser's loud cries of sorrow traveled far beyond his garden walls and reached the ears of a kind old neighbor nearby. This wise, elderly man had lived in the village for many years and was known by everyone for his gentle heart and wisdom. Hearing such terrible grief, he walked slowly toward the sound to see what misfortune had fallen upon his poor old neighbor. He found the miser kneeling in the dirt beside an empty hole, his face covered with tears and smeared with dark mud. The wise neighbor stood quietly watching for a moment, his calm, thoughtful eyes taking in the pitiful scene before him there. He approached the weeping man gently and knelt down beside him, placing a comforting hand softly upon his shaking thin shoulder. The miser looked up with red, swollen eyes and poured out his story of loss between gasping sobs and broken, trembling words. The wise neighbor listened patiently without interrupting, nodding slowly as he began to understand the foolish nature of this grief. When the miser finished his sad tale, the wise neighbor looked around the garden thoughtfully and spotted an ordinary gray stone. He picked up the stone and held it gently in his weathered palm, examining it as if it were something truly precious and rare. With a calm and knowing smile, the wise man walked over to the empty hole and carefully placed the stone at the very bottom. The miser stared in confusion, wondering why this stranger would put a worthless rock into the hole where his gold once rested. The wise neighbor spoke with a gentle voice, explaining that this stone could serve the miser just as well as his gold ever did. After all, the gold had only been buried in the ground and never spent. It was never used to buy anything or help anyone. The stone in the hole was worth exactly the same as the gold bar had been, because neither one was ever actually being used. Wealth that is never used has no true value at all. It might as well be an ordinary stone buried deep in the cold ground. The wise neighbor's words hung in the air as the old miser sat silently, staring at the simple gray stone in the hole below. Slowly, the meaning of those gentle words began to sink into his mind, breaking through years of foolish greed and blind obsession. He realized that all those years of hoarding gold had brought him nothing but loneliness, fear, and now this terrible heartbreak. The gold bar he loved so dearly had never bought him a single meal, never warmed his cold house, never brought him real joy. Tears of a different kind now fell from his tired old eyes, tears of deep regret for all the wasted years of his life. As the sun began to set and painted the sky in shades of orange and gold, the miser finally understood the true cost of greed. He bowed his head in quiet acceptance, knowing that true wealth lies not in what we have, but only in what we wisely use. And so ends the tale of the miser and his gold, a timeless reminder that unused treasure is no treasure at all in life.